Welcome back. Now, a lot of women start their journey of being pregnant with an at-home pregnancy test, but there are so many questions once you see those double lines.
Right, and to get some answers on what we should be doing before we see the doctor, after we've learned we are pregnant, we turn to our pregnancy expert, Judith Schuler.
Hello.
Judy, so great to see you again.
Oh, good to see you too.
So I know there are so many, if you just go down that shopping aisle, there's so many different at-home tests that you can be taking. So let's start there. If somebody suspects they might be pregnant, what are the best ones?
Well, really, they're all very good. They've done tests on many, many different kinds of brands, and they've all turned out to be very good, even the ones from the dollar store.
Wow.
They're just as good as the ones that you pay $15 or $20 at a drugstore for. So, you know, it's a very important thing that once you take that pregnancy test, that, you know, you start thinking about what you need to do when you find out you are pregnant.
Well, you have that, you know, oh, we saw the double lines, and, you know, everyone's like, oh, the news, and then it hits you, like, there's going to be a little while before I get in to see my doctor.
Right.
So what's the first thing we should be
The very
thinking?
first thing you should do when you find out you're pregnant is call the doctor. Let them know you're pregnant, because sometimes it takes 5-6 weeks to get in to see them. So, and when you call them, let them know if you had any problems getting pregnant, if you had to do in vitro, or if you've had problems with past pregnancies. Ask them about starting to take a prenatal vitamin, because that's really good, and they might have some recommendations. And then if you've been feeling any morning sickness, let them know, because they may tell you what kind of things you can do, or whether they would want to see you at some time if you have really bad morning sickness. So that's the first thing, is to get lined up with your doctor.
Okay, so then let's say we call our doctor, we have an appointment for 4 weeks from then. Now, as if it was a first pregnancy especially, you don't even know, like, what are you not supposed to eat? You've heard a million myths in your life. So tell us, kind of clear up what we should be, the changes we should be making right away.
The two most important are stop drinking alcohol, and also watch out any cold or cough remedies. A lot of those contain alcohol, and mouthwashes. So although you don't swallow the mouthwash normally, you know, it's probably best to avoid those. Stop smoking. And don't use any of the gums or patches or any of the pills to help you stop smoking, because a lot of those can negatively affect a fetus. Start eating healthfully, and start a moderate exercise program. And just about any woman can either walk or swim or ride a stationary bike. So those are the you know, stop and start.
Right. So things that you should, the do's and the don'ts. But what about if we're also taking prescription drugs? Because I know we don't think about that when we're first getting prescribed them.
Right. And that's very, very important, because some drugs, prescription drugs, should not be taken during pregnancy. And some, you know, you need to adjust the dosage or take a different pill or something. So you need to contact the doctor who has prescribed you the medication, not your pregnancy doctor, but the one who's prescribed the medication. Tell them you're pregnant. Ask them, can I continue taking the medication? Can you give me a lower dose, or can you give me a different pill? And they will advise you. They have this kind of experience. The other thing is, you be very, very, very careful of anything you take that's over the counter, whether it's an over the counter medication, whether it's a botanical, an herb, a supplement, a vitamin. Things that you use normally when you're not pregnant can really impact when you are pregnant. So those are things that you really have to be careful with.
Okay, and Judy, you also, I know, mentioned eating healthfully. So nutrition is a big deal when you find out that you're pregnant.
And it's not just, I mean, you have to eat very good things. We always say if it's fresh, instead of coming out of a can or a box, it's better for you. So try to start eating, you know, healthfully that way. And you want to eat 5 or 6 small meals a day. Because if you eat in the morning and then don't eat till 5 hours later, and then have lunch and then have dinner much later than that, your blood levels of nutrients are spiking. And so we want you to keep it even. So if you have meals and very healthful snacks or small meals all throughout the day, you're giving baby more nutrition on a you know, steady basis. And you want to avoid junk food. And then, as we've talked before, start drinking water.
Yes,
3 liters a day, and half of that should be water, and the other half can come from food and other beverages you drink.
I think that's great. This is that you just saw the test. These are the changes we need to make. Make that phone call. Make sure everything you're doing. Make sure the baby is happy and healthy.
That's right.
That's why we have you on, Judith.
Yes.
So you always give us those great recommendations. So thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, if you want to learn even more about your pregnancy, make sure to check out Judith's series of books. Just hop on your computer and visit yourpregnancybook.com.